Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor to have the dynamic duo of Women Over 70 Aging Reimagined podcast. And this duo consists of Gail Zelitzky and Catherine Marienau. Gail is a lifelong entrepreneur, the previous owner of 2 multi-million-dollar companies. For the past 20 years, she has coached business owners, their teams, and groups to practice creative leadership. 2 years ago, Gail began Wonder Women Mastermind. And now, at age 78, she is excited to work with women in various stages of transition to reimagine life as they age. Gail is an author, speaker, mentor, and recipient of numerous awards, including the David O. Justice Alumni Award in 2019 from DePaul University's School for New Learning. Holy cow, Gail. And now Catherine, you guys are fabulous. Catherine has been listening to women's stories for nearly 50 years as mentor to female students aged between 35 and 80 years old, as an instructor of women's issues, and as research writer on women as learners and on vital women in their 70s. Her primary context has been innovative, customized degree programs for adult learners, most of whom are women. And now at age 71, Catherine has moved from a full-time faculty position to focus on her passion projects, women's learning and development through the lens of aging, and adult learning through the lens of neuroscience. My goodness, you two, welcome and thank you so much for being here.
We're so happy to be here, Nada. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. We're delighted.
Oh, well, I'm telling you, I say there is 3 women in my life, maybe 4, that I always say when I grow up, I'm going to be just like you. And I just added 2 more women to my list. So, well, Gail, I've known you, so I knew you've been on my list. But Catherine, I've just added you onto my list. So you guys are phenomenal. My gosh. So it's the first thing that I want to ask you then is what has kept both of you going in your respective fields for all of these years? And who wants to go first? Gail?
Okay, well, what's kept me going all these years? It is the excitement of helping someone say, aha, and finding a new way to do something, a new perspective, a new shift in how they think. And that's what keeps me going. It's just very excited to work with women business owners and business owners, which I've done for my whole career. I've been an entrepreneur my entire career, unlike Catherine.
Like Catherine, she says. Well, Nada, I thought I was going to be a world traveling anthropologist, following in the footsteps of Margaret Mead, and that didn't work out. So what I've been doing is traveling with adult learners as they've gone on their journeys in pursuing college degrees, but more than the credentials, their life journeys are just inspiring, and it's so gratifying to be able to work with them and to do some coaching with them and help them realize the dreams that they've been pursuing for a really long time, in the face of some pretty significant barriers. So I just have a tremendous admiration for people who just continue to follow their dreams, and especially women. So so it's those, not just the stories, but being involved with those stories, as I feel like we are with the podcast as well, that even though we don't always know our guests all that intimately. Just being with them for that short time, I feel like, we're still traveling with them.
Oh, man, absolutely. Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. So speaking of the podcast, in July of 2019, you two launched this podcast. How is it? How did that come about to do the podcast?
Yeah. Tell the story.
Yeah. I'll tell you the story. When I was turning 70, I had this idea of interviewing 70 women over 70. I wanted to know what was coming, what was ahead, what it would look like. And actually, we didn't start the podcast until last year. Catherine and I had become friends. She was my faculty mentor at DePaul University, where I received my master's degree in 2015. And after I received the degree, we became very good friends. And we would meet and talk all the time, and we would discuss women's issues, and we found that we had that in common. And so one day I brought up the idea that I was thinking about, and she was about to retire. And so she said to me, I'd like to do that. And so Women Over 70, Aging Reimagined was born soon after. So, yeah. And, the way that I got interested in this in the first place was, my son, Neda, Steve Ulsher. And Steve has been working in new media for a lot of years now. And at the New Media Summit, where you and I met, he talks about podcasting. That's what it's all about, and puts together wannabe podcasters with icons who are already podcasters. And so, after doing that with him for a while, the bug hit me. I wanted a podcast too, after all. He has two now. I wanted one.
And as I recall, to try to add to that story, we both said we've got to stop talking about this and we've got to do something about it. And then Gail said, well, we're going to do a podcast. And I said, oh, okay, not having a clue what that meant. So here we are.
Oh, don't you love it? Yes. Oh my gosh. It's fantastic. And I have to tell you, because it was through Steve Ulsher that I got into podcasting. That's how I discovered podcasting, was through the New Media Summit, and then signed up and did programs with Steve. And I have to tell you, it was so funny because I was telling my husband, he's like, what's a podcast? And I said, I don't know. I had already signed up to go to New Media Summit. Didn't even know what I was signing up for, but it sounded good.
And it was good, right?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's fabulous. Yes, absolutely fabulous. Because I'm still doing it. So, and then I get beautiful guests like this. I wish you guys could see the smile. That it's just so fabulous to be talking to two women, one who was 71 and one who was 78. And it's not that the age matters, but it does matter in the sense that I work with people that are in their 40s and they say like, oh, I'm getting so old. And it's like, oh dear God, you've got to be kidding me. Like, quit. Because so that's something else that I would love to know. What is it about the two of you, separately and maybe together, because with friends, we just go so much further in life. But what is it that just inspires you that it's just like, I'm not going to quit, like, because it's work. And sometimes we're tired and like, I don't want to go to work, but you just get up and I'm going to work. So just in your own personal life, what inspires you to just stay positive and optimistic and getting out there and doing it and just having the zest for life?
Well, I can give you my point of view on this. Okay. And that is that there's so much excitement and interest in hearing other women's stories. Mm-hmm. That every time I talk to a woman that we're going to interview, and we always talk to them beforehand to get to know them a little bit and feel out the themes that we're going to discuss. When I talk with them and I hear what they've done, Our goal is to shatter the myth that women become invisible as they age. And these women are vital and vibrant and exciting. And they're in their, not just in their 70s, but in their 80s and 90s. We even interviewed a woman who was 103. And so, I get younger every time I interview someone who is older.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what just excites me about this.
That's really nice. I get younger as I interview someone older. We're going to have to use that, Gail. That's a nice.
You're going to have everybody doing podcasts, the new anti-aging. But I understand it. I mean, that makes complete sense. How about you, Catherine?
Sure. Everything Gail said, I would want to echo. I think for me, although Gail tried to tell you that I am not entrepreneurial, I actually have been. That's what my whole involvement with higher education has been, creating programs that will serve adult learners in experimenting innovative ways. But what's really key, I am very seduced by learning something new, and so that keeps me going. And although I try to tell people that I retired from my full-time position at DePaul, I didn't intend to retire. People keep trying to put me in that retirement box, but so it's learning something new. It's this whole world of podcasting, and what I've really enjoyed all my years working with adult learners is finding ways to connect them with ideas, with resources, with other people. And I just get so much joy from meeting a new person, and someone refers another wonderful woman to us, and we follow up, and so that whole trail, that chain, just keeps growing. And so I find that really exciting. And I also like being part of a movement. And I think what Gail and I are doing, and I think what you're doing too, is a movement to join the movement to. And it's not anti-aging. It is aging in our own terms, on our own way, and this is what aging looks like. That we have over almost 70 women that we've interviewed now, and each one is unique. And we have some commonalities as well. And so we're not holding ourselves to the youth standard and falling short.
Right. Yeah. We this isn't just, I don't want to say just, this isn't only a podcast to us. It isn't only the interviews. We're creating a huge community. And the community starts with women who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. We because we are both, and yes, you are, Catherine, because we are both so entrepreneurial, we keep dreaming up new things to do. And so surrounding the podcast are our Zoom gatherings. We have a monthly Zoom gathering that is free to anyone who wants to attend, that, from our guests to anyone else in the community. We have a monthly podcast discussion club in which we review the podcasts according to the categories that we've set up. We review the podcasts that we have released, and then have a discussion around it. What comes up for you? What does it mean to you? How does this woman inspire you? And that's really very exciting. And we've been doing some speaking for organizations, and so we're really intent in making this a business. And so it's just very exciting to bring a voice to all these women's stories, and to do all the things that we're doing with it.
One more thing to add to that is that we've just created a partnership package so that we can help promote products and organizations and associations that are associated with aging, and particularly women aging, and that includes promoting women's books that have to do with women and aging. So that's our latest. I think that's our latest, isn't it, Gail? Our latest invention.
Yes, right. which followed our playlist.
Oh, right.
We have a wonderful assistant who works with us. We couldn't do this were it not for Christine Cruz. Her social media skills, her graphic design skills, her technical skills are what keeps us going and able to do anything we dream up. She can help us get it done.
That's right.
And we created a playlist. I mentioned all these categories that we have. You know, when you have soon we'll have 100 podcasts, right, and 100 episodes, and so it's hard to keep track. And we want people to be able to find areas that they're interested in listening to, and so we created categories that allow us to do that. And following on that is a playlist that breaks all the podcasts up into all the episodes up into the various categories.
That is so brilliant, because people, when they're in there searching, you want to find the thing that you want to listen to and just jump on it and get listening and not spend your time searching.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Starting and stopping.
Oh, absolutely. You guys, I love this. You are so creative, and the more, and I think this is it. This is such a ticket to growing up. I always call it growing up, because I just don't think that growing old is not what you two are doing by any means. Growing old is when we're just sitting on the couch watching TV and letting life go by. But as we're growing up and having these creative ideas, and how can we expand this, and how can we bring more, and how can we touch more lives and help more lives and help more people, and it's so beautiful. I love this. And I want to be for sure that I get the information for the content, where Zoom, the free Zoom that you have for sure, and the monthly other things that you have, we'll have that in the show notes that we can promote too, so people know that, oh my God, like, you're my tribe, you're the people I've been searching for. And to be able to, and me too. Yes, I guess I didn't even know that I get that I can join this Zoom for free to attend and just be part of this group. And then you have other things that I get to be part of if I so choose. So I will be checking you out and be joining your party, because you guys are fabulous.
Thank you.
Love to have you. And we really do want to reach women who are not yet 70. So in their 50s, in their 60s. So anybody who has some curiosity or even apprehension about getting older, we're the place to come, because our guests are shattering, as Gail said, really shattering all the myths.
Yeah.
So many of our guests are pioneers in social justice movements, and that just cut across age, race, gender, and economic status. And we have Catherine, 8 categories now?
Yeah. Do you want to hear the categories, Nita?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay, I just wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Reinvention, social activism, expressive arts, play, social service, career enhancement or enhancing career, health and wellness, and spirituality and healing.
Wow. Beautiful. I love every single one of those. What a place to go to. It's just like you have it's like a one-stop shop for all of this information. And I love that you're wanting to get women in there that are in their 50s, because I think societally, we are kind of set up to think that, especially as we're getting, pushing into our 60s, and which that's, I'm pushing the door of 60, and like life starts to slow down, and we start thinking about retirement, and, and no offense to the 55 and over communities, but my husband and I went to one a couple of years ago, and with a camper, and we just stayed there. It's gated and it was safe and it felt really good. But I thought, oh dear God, I don't want to be playing pickleball. That's not what I want to do with my life. And they were beautiful people, but it's like, no, and they were, some of them were in their 60s, and it's like, oh my goodness. So to be able to cultivate a brand new mindset about what it is to grow up, and to grow into these years, but to do it with vitality and vivacious and with a zest for life, it's like, oh yeah, sign me up. That's the place to be. Oh, yes. And I love this piece where you created a partnership package to promote others. I mean, that's so beautiful. It's just so symbiotic to be able to help others and do the beautiful work that you do. I am in love with you guys. If you were on camera, you'd see me hugging my microphone.
We love you too, Neda.
Well, I have to tell you, I am very grateful and very blessed that you do. So thank you. Thank you so much. So, of course, we're going to run out of time because it always goes by so quickly. But I guess the question I would like to ask you as we start to wrap this up, what do you think needs to happen to become the active voice for women over 70?
Well, if I could, I think that first of all, it's role modeling, right? So all people, everyone we interview is role modeling how to be the active voice of aging. Catherine and I feel that we're the active voice of aging because we're able to bring all of these stories to life and be a part of the movement that is shattering this myth.
Yeah. Love it.
Catherine, what do you think?
Well, I agree, Gail. I think the role modeling is essential, and with that is being able to, as several of our guests have advocated, we need to own our age, not be owned by it, but we need to own the age we are, and to look at that in terms of the possibilities, the potential for new learning, for new experiences, for growth in perhaps deeper ways, and also to accept the realities of some of what comes with aging, which tends to be more in the physical realm. But I think that we as individuals, we can be good role models, and I do think that we women over 70, Aging Reimagined, and others need to join, collaborate more to heighten this movement that is so important to us. So we can't do it alone.
Right.
Definitely a community that we are building across the world, because we have interviewed women outside of the United States and lots of women across the United States. It's very rewarding that so many find us and want to be on our show, to be able to say what it is that they're doing and share their stories.
Yes. Oh man, yes, absolutely. And I love that they find you. That is so fabulous.
Yes.
And sharing their stories. And it just, man, it's so inspiring for the people that are listening and hearing and watching. And it's like, oh, like, yeah, that's how I want it to be. And in fact, I have to say, because Catherine had said she was going to be an anthropologist and follow in the footsteps of Margaret Mead. And I'm thinking, Jean Houston. You know who Jean Houston is, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And didn't she turn 90 recently, or she even over 90? I don't know, but she's the person that popped into my head too. It's like, my gosh, I don't think that woman has slowed down at all.
We need to interview her.
Yes,
you do. Yes, you do. Oh, and please, I will be over there holding the microphone for her, because she's one of my favorites too. I mean, there's so many beautiful women that are role models for and even the younger ones, to be able to know that my grandma doesn't have to, wear those funky stockings that you pull up and they roll down, and those goofy shoes, and grandma can be hip and cool, because I got to see both of you guys, and you're fabulous. You're fabulous. You're beautiful, and you're sassy, and you're elegant, and I admire both of you. And Catherine, you and I just met, but I have fallen in love with you as much as I have fallen in love with Gail. And
you're my new best friend.
Oh, awesome. Yay. I love this. This is like the love fest, and I don't want it to end. And of course, we know the time is like done because it's a blink of an eye and half an hour is over with. Yeah. So I want to thank both of you for being here with us, and all of your information will be on the show notes. So anybody who's driving, who's listening to this, you can absolutely go to Women Over 70 Aging Reimagined podcast, and that's where you will find Catherine and Gail. And then they are involved in so many other things. All of that information will be in the show notes, so you can go to the show notes and pick up the information and connect with these beautiful women. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being such fabulous role models. And thank you for blessing my life with your presence here with us today. I'm so grateful.
Oh, thank you so much, Nada.
Thank you. It's just been a delightful. Thank you.
Delightful, yes.
It's fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. And to all of the listeners, there's no way you could have listened to this and not enjoyed every bit of it. So thank you so much for being here, and be sure to share this information, this podcast, with other people that you know would like this. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show, and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.